Hello everyone and welcome to the very first episode of NL10 Off Script. I am your host Nathan Lowry, and today was the trade deadline for the NBA, and believe me, the Cleveland Cavaliers were all over this year's trade. This was absolutely crazy. We knew that the Cleveland Cavaliers needed to move pieces that were very unlikable throughout the locker room. Guys like Isaiah Thomas was one of them. Jay Crowder, it seemed like he become another one. But I think mostly it circles around Isaiah Thomas the most, just because of all the confrontation he started with Kevin Love through these past couple of weeks, and just so much drama going on. IT talking about Tyronn Lue and the coaching staff of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they obviously realize it's time for them to make a move. Obviously, they know that the LeBron decision is starting to weigh over their heads, as he is open to free agency this year. So they realized that this was their time to maybe start making either a run to win the championship this year, or try to win this year, or go ahead and be prepared for a post-LeBron era, part two, if you will. What the Cleveland Cavaliers moved so many pieces. They moved Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Channing Frye, Dwayne Wade's going back to Miami, Iman Shumpert. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody else. Maybe it might come to me right here in just a second. But they moved so many pieces, and it's honestly, the only people that are left on the team is, of course, LeBron James, Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, three guys that were on their championship team. So they know they wanted to keep those as their core main guys. They've been on the starting lineup for a long time. They kept Jeff Green, which I thought was a great decision by upper management to do that. They kept Kyle Korver, which has obviously been a spark plug for them when he comes off the bench and knocks down so many threes as he did last night against the Timberwolves, which was amazing for him. And they also kept Jetty Osman, which I thought was a great move by the Cleveland Cavaliers, because I know that kid has a lot of promise in his future with Cleveland, or just in the NBA in general, if he decides to leave after a little while. But the Cleveland Cavaliers obviously got in return, they got Rodney Hood, George Hill, and then from LA, they got Jordan Clarkson and also Larry Nance Jr., which Larry Nance Jr. coming to Cleveland is kind of good, just because his dad is a legendary, just a classic player that we all know. His jersey's hanging up in Quicken Loans Arena right now. Larry Nance Sr., and a homecoming, if you will. I'm pretty sure his dad's going to be happy for him, but he's going to be a great piece for Cleveland. But honestly, this circles around LeBron James at the end of the day, because Cleveland's getting prepared because they know what's coming, the post-LeBron era. This is not a team that's going to go win a championship this year. This is not a team that is going to be able to walk into the NBA Finals stating that they actually get there and walk over the Golden State Warriors and win their second franchise title. No, this is a team that is going to be one for the Cleveland Cavaliers to start with, and then move on from there. Given they did move Derrick Rose, that's the other person I left out earlier. So the point guard position has just been empty. They kept Jose Calderon as well. He's also been another piece for them. Was the starting point guard for a long time for this Cleveland squad, and I thought pretty well. He was the leading point guard when they went on their 13-win streak tangent towards the month of December. Right in the month of December, I think, started maybe late November. And this is just Cleveland, I think, making the best moves they possibly can, get ready for post-LeBron, because they know it's coming. Obviously, there's been a lot of miscommunication between LeBron James and the owner, Dan Gilbert, which I think is absolutely crazy, because Dan Gilbert is one of the worst owners in the NBA. I think nobody can dispute that. Of course, James Dolan I would top at the worst when it comes to NBA owners, but Dan Gilbert has been a special kind these past couple of years since LeBron came back. LeBron came back, signed a 1-year deal because he didn't trust Dan Gilbert. I wouldn't either. After his article he wrote in 2010, after LeBron decided to move the first time when he decided to take his talents down to South Beach, and for LeBron, he signed a 1-year deal. Kevin Love, Kyrie went down that NBA Finals, so they lost that one. Still took him to 6, with the second best player being Matthew Dellavedova, who did a great job in Game 2 of that NBA Finals, playing his heart out, and did a great job in that NBA Finals. To the next year, he signed another 1-year deal in the summer. Obviously, Kyrie and Kev did not go down that year. They came back from 3-1 against the 73-9 win team and won that championship. I think that is when LeBron said that year, "You know what, Dan? I'll start to trust you." And the minute he did that, he signed a 2-year deal, which he would be an unrestricted free agent when it came in the summer of 2018. And I think he's regretted his decision since then, because LeBron James and his Cleveland squad has started to implode. They have not made the right moves as they needed to make last year. Of course, LeBron asking for more playmakers on the team. In return, he got Darren Williams and Derek Williams, which an old Darren Williams is not what you want at all. He did not help them in the NBA Finals at all. Of course, they picked up Kyle Korver, which I thought was an absolute great pickup for them. Was kind of nervous in his first ever NBA Finals that he played in. Of course, they lost. They would go and lose in 5, and then you obviously see Kyrie in the summer stating that he no longer wants to play with LeBron James in Cleveland. He's demanding a trade. And of course, after Dan Gilbert fires his GM, David Griffin, that was a huge straw for them. They hire Kobe Alderman, of course, who is unproven as a GM, and it's just, he's not ready, I don't think. Made one good move and acclimated and agreed to the terms to Kyrie, stating he wanted to be traded. I think at the end of the day, they should have kept Kyrie Irving. I mean, when I think about the situation, I think about the situation when I look at Kobe Bryant. Back in, I think it was 2007, he said, "I would love to be traded out of Los Angeles," and upper management said, "No, you're not going anywhere." And because of that, because they said that, 2010, they won an NBA championship. So through that, I think LeBron and Kyrie could have fixed their issues, if you will, or their conflicts, which I think could have helped them in the end. But of course, this season has not been the most perfect season at all for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Started out not too bad, got a win against Boston, against Kyrie and his squad, and has just kind of, they started off downhill, then hit it uphill. And as soon as Isaiah Thomas comes back, they have one good game with him against Portland. Obviously, he dropped 17 that game. I'm thinking, as a Cleveland Cavaliers fan myself, I'm thinking that this Cleveland squad's got something for us this year. They might be able to go out and win themselves an NBA championship, and that's about the time the downward slope hits. For January, they won 6 of 14. They were absolutely dead last in defensive efficiency. We saw their defensive efficiency drop last year, which is not good at all, especially since you do have to guard the three-point line a little bit more. You have to guard a little bit more just because all the shooters stacked up on teams. Now you look at Golden State with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, also Draymond Green. You can't ever forget about Draymond Green out there. You also got now Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony sitting out there in Oklahoma City. And of course, the barrage of shooters that they have in Houston with James Harden and now Chris Paul joining that squad. So, with them dropping as much as they did, they gave up 148 points against Oklahoma City, which is not what you want to do. Still got beat by 20. 24, if I'm correct. And I think it wasn't a good move for them at all when it pertains to their defense and how they moved. So, with that, I think Cleveland is now getting ready for the post-LeBron era. It's coming. I've stated that he's going to Houston. I believe that he will be making his departure and joining his banana boat brother. I can't ever say that right. But he will be joining Chris Paul and James Harden this off season. Even though the Lakers, with the move that they made, getting Isaiah Thomas, obviously guaranteed them a whole lot of cap space, I still don't think LeBron's gonna try to wing that one and try to go out there with Lonzo and potentially Paul George if he decides that Oklahoma City was not for him, which right now he's looking like he might stay in Oklahoma City. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But other than that, I'm gonna sign off from here. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to send me an email if you have your own opinion about the Cleveland Cavaliers in this trade deadline 2018. It was a great one. It all happened today, and I think hopefully we'll get to see a better Cleveland Cavaliers team and more competition in the East. Other than that, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later.